Welcome to our FabEagle Connect tutorial series on low-code interface integration. In this tutorial, we will show you how easy it is to transfer measured values from a CSV file to an SQLite database using our interface integration software. We will look at the file interface for reading a CSV file, transferring JSON messages, and writing to an SQLite database. We start by looking at the data flow for existing data formats and data structures that play an important role when combining components. CSV files are plain text files. They contain data structured as a list or table. Typically, datasets are separated by a line break, and individual data fields, which means columns, are separated by a semicolon. However, a comma, colon, or tab can be used instead of a semicolon. In addition, the table header is often defined on the first line in the form of column names. The JSON format is the output format of our CSV file reader component, and is also the most common message format between components in FabEagle Connect. The JSON format can contain any amount of nested data and is therefore compatible with most interface components. The default character encoding is UTF-8, which is a compact but easily readable format. SQLite is a free program library that is used as a relational database system. It is the most widely used database system in the world. As the name implies, SQLite supports SQL commands. For our example, it is only necessary to consider that it is a table structure, since the data itself is written to the database by FabEagle Connect. As an example, we have prepared a CSV file with 20 fictitious measured values, the timestamp of a temperature sensor, and an SQLite database. The database already contains a table with columns corresponding to our example data. The configuration of FabEagle Connect is started by adding the first component, in this case, the CSV file reader component, named after the data source, temperature sensor. Double-click to open the component configuration dialog. The folder paths specified here have already been created. We check if files in folder and use column names from file, because the column names are already specified in the first line of the CSV file. We set skip rows to 1 because the first row contains the column names and the variables start from the second row. The CSV separator, that is the separator between the variables, is the semicolon. The message subject can be freely defined. We use data. The subject is needed later as a reference in the database component. Finally, the column type is created for each variable. Our example CSV consists of 4 parameters. The ID, date, and time are of type string, while the value parameter is of type decimal. The parameter name, the JSON key name, and the type, for which you can choose between different data types, are always defined. The message generated by the CSV reader component is in JSON format and has a list structure. In this case, we can use the SQLite component without transformation. As before, we add a new component of type SQLite database and give it a name like SQLite DB. To do this, we first need to add the complete file path of the included database under path. Then a new entry is created under Insert. The name has no technical meaning and can be used as a comment. The subject corresponds to the message subject of the CSV file reader component. That is data in our case. We have named the prepared SQLite table in the database temperature, which we also enter here. Finally, the connection to the CSV file reader component is established via connections. The name is again just an identifier. We choose connection 1. Use the drop-down menu to select the component that will serve as the data source. The subjects field does not need to be defined. This entry can be used as a filter. The configuration is now complete and can be run and tested using the play button. The application is running and the database will be connected. However, before we test the configuration, we will open Visual Studio Code to look at the current database. To do this, we select the command Select from Temperature and run it by right-clicking and selecting Run Selected Query. On the right, we see the empty output. This tells us that the table is empty. Now, we copy the sample CSV to the watch folder, where it will be read, and run the database query, select from temperature again. We now get the new records in the output. We have ensured that the configuration was successful. With this, we have come to the end of our tutorial. For more details on these and other examples, please refer to our Getting Started guide that comes with our FabEagle Connect Demo. To access the demo, or if you have any questions, please contact our sales team.